Seeing this all right? If you are, today we are going to be talking about the new update in Rainbow Six Siege. All right, we should be good now. I think we're all right. Welcome everyone. I wanted to put on a late night stream for you guys, something for you guys to enjoy while you're sitting at home, probably with nothing to do. So I figured me and my buddy Quantum were having a really good discussion about some of the new updates in Rainbow Six Siege. We were talking about the nerf to Jaeger. We were talking about the nerf to the TCSG. And we actually had some really different opinions on it, just to keep it blunt. And so I thought you guys would find it interesting to kind of hear our thoughts about it, hear how we're kind of thinking about it as veteran players and people that have been playing this game for a very long time. And again, it's late, and I figured why not just jump on and hopefully bring you guys a little bit of entertainment. So we're also going to be taking fan calls from you guys. I'm going to open up a phone line. You guys will see a number on the screen, and feel free to call me. Call in because I actually want to hear from you guys, and I want to hear your opinions and your feelings about all of this stuff. So I'm going to bring my buddy in here, and then we're pretty much going to start going over the update. Feel free to let me know what you guys think in the chat in the meantime. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. We were having such an interesting conversation.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Is this Quantum?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're live right now. And we're talking. We have some people here listening to us, and I wanted to talk about what we were discussing before. I want to talk about the new update. I want to talk about Jaeger, Cain,
Right.
all that stuff with you live here, and just kind of pick your brain and really see how you're feeling about it. So feel free to speak your mind. I don't want any other
All right,
influence than how you genuinely feel about it.
Sounds good. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for having me on here. I do also want to put out there that right off the bat, I am headstrong on this Jaeger nerf. I think Jaeger deserved it. I think Jaeger still has some more work to do. I think Jaeger's still going to be an extremely powerful operator. And you know what? He's the first of the first line of defense when it comes to roaming. He's the head honcho. I know I use him a lot to roam. I know a lot of people that use him to roam. I mean, he has a over 90% pick rate.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an amazing operator, but he is too strong. He stands in front for defense.
All right, so let me stop you there, right? I agree. I genuinely fully agree with the fact that Jaeger's too strong. Like, Jaeger has been just such a dominant operator, and it's difficult to put into a video sometimes, but what I really want to say is that he's a day one operator. He's a launch operator, and at the time he had to be as strong as he was. Now he really doesn't. The game has completely changed since he's been out, and he really doesn't need to be as strong as he once was. But with that being said, knocking him down to a 2 speed, in my opinion, is just an all-out nerf. It's a mistake. That's just the way that I feel about it. I really hate to come out and, like, I don't want to sound negative. I don't want to sound complaining, and I don't want to sound like, I know how to develop for the game. But before I continue on, I want to just throw out kind of my suggestions for Jaeger specifically, and then I want to hear just a little bit more of your thoughts. So, like we had discussed before, and like I've said in videos past, I think Jaeger should lose an ADS. I think he should lose one ADS, and let me tell you the reasons why. Let me tell you the reasons why. Right, the first reason why is it would be less coverage for around the objective. I think right now the battle between Wamai and Jaeger is more so about just being able to deal with the grenades and obviously coverage, as how much of the objective can you seal off from the attacker's projectiles. Currently, Jaeger with his 380s, he can cover basically every door, every main doorway, every main window with ease, and especially with the radius. And I think it inadvertently will buff Wamai, because Wamai's specialty over Jaeger, at least from my perspective, is coverage around the map with the magnet. So that's the first thing. The second thing I think is the 416 and how powerful it is of a weapon. It does 38 damage currently, which puts it at top 5 as far as damage over on defense, if you're not including shotguns. Right. And for a roamer with as much utility as Jaeger has, I think that's too much firepower. So the question that I want to jump to you is, why go for his speed over the things that are actually making him very strong, like his 416 and the fact that he has 380s? Why go for the speed?
So I'm partially there. So I feel that the 416 is probably the most favorable weapon on defense when it comes to roaming. I mean, altogether, it's an extremely strong weapon. It's not even arguable. His gadget, on the other hand, I don't think that's the problem. I think I don't think his gadget's actually even being put to use as often as maybe it should if he wanted to roam. I mean, think about it. If you want to take an ADS away from him and you keep him at, let's say, a 3-speed, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's a slight buff. I think he gets to put 2 of his ADSs down faster. He uses his equipment faster, and then he's out and about wherever he has to go in a jiffy. It takes, I think 4 seconds to put down an ADS. It's 4 seconds to get to where you need to. And we all know how important time is in Siege. I think Jaeger's where he needs to get to almost all the time. Him using his ADSs accurately, I don't know. There are times, I am guilty of it, there are times where I will keep an ADS on me just because I know I'm in a rush to get somewhere, because Jaeger is an extremely effective roamer. He's just that much better. He's not even competitive compared to Wamai. Wamai is a 2-2. Wamai would have competition. Jaeger would have competition as well if he was a 2-2 with Wamai. So that right there kind of evens the scales for me. And then not only that, ADSs are at hand, and it takes a moment for those magnets to charge up. So they're fundamentally different in that sense.
Right.
But I still think if you were to take away an ADS, you change the projectile denial to, instead of 2 to 3, and then you keep him at the 2-2. I just don't think him being that 3-speed. It's a different game now. We're year 5. It's a 10-year plan. We're right in the middle of an extremely gigantic change, and I think Jaeger had a long, nice run. I think it's time to give other operators some shine.
So I actually agree with a lot of what you just said, but what we were talking about before was before we jumped out of ranked and we came live here. We were talking about it kind of off screen, but so your thinking is still the roaming aspect. Your thinking is still kind of where Rainbow's thinking is, really the developers over there, which is to suppress his roaming ability. Now, I guess my next question is, what about why is it constantly that we have to keep nerfing operators to get that balance, right? Like, if the issue is that Jaeger is too prevalent, maybe it's just the fact that these other operators aren't as good. The alternatives out there aren't as good. And I mean, just speaking plainly about Wamai versus Jaeger, I guess my last question is, what if we are giving Jaeger, who I think has the better gun, even though the AUG is stronger, I think the 416 is just a better gun, especially offsite, and also just the more consistent utility with the ADS. What if we make Wamai the 3-speed at that point and then just swap Jaeger to the 2-2? Again, why do we have to keep nerfing these operators and not looking at maybe buffing some others? Like, I genuinely believe that Wamai, he needs a buff. Why are we nerfing Jaeger before buffing Wamai? That's my biggest thing.
I think we would have a similar problem if we were to give. So wow, I agree. I mean, that's an interesting idea to buff Wamai to a three speed. I just think giving him that weapon at a three speed, that AUG, I think that would be extremely devastating. I think that weapon is an underrated weapon for that. But I definitely hear that on that end. I mean, I also feel that. I mean, why touch other operators when you should be focusing on this? I mean,
You're kind of low. I can't really hear you. We got a
Do you
five.
hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better. We got a five coming in from Jason Mante. Says he loves this style of live. Let me know how you guys like this style of live. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Quantum. Go ahead and continue.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Can
But
hear
yeah,
you
I
better.
just feel that if we had to touch other operators, I think it is necessary because if you want to give other operators shine and you want to be able to give them that that ability for players to see the comfortability and usage for these operators, I think by lessening their favorite operator, it gives them more of an option to choose an operator to see how they play and then receive feedback in order then to buff kind of afterwards. I kind of see it that way. And I do understand that as well, just because, I can't imagine nerfing the most popular operator on defense and then buffing the most non-popular operator on defense, but one of them, and then having that clash and seeing what would happen to new operators essentially, and then having to resettle them out again in the future. I like the devastating blow that they're doing to Jaeger. I don't think it's enough. I don't know if that's what people believe. I just think that Jaeger is an extremely strong operator. Wamai needs a buff. I agree. I think he actually should receive his magnets a little faster.
Yeah, I agree with that
The three
100%.
speed is it's something. That's something to think about. I
Yeah.
think. I mean, he doesn't have an angled grip, so it's not like he's an ADS faster with that AUG. So I mean, I think it's kind of like it's like giving it's like a redundancy, if you ask me. It's like giving Jaeger that ability to be Wamai and then Wamai being Jaeger. It's an extremely difficult thing because at the same time, if what is it? Jaeger's 416 has a very slow ADS time, and so does the AUG now. So like essentially, and it does more damage. So it's essentially the same thing as the 416 if Wamai would become the three speed.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think what I'm hearing as well too, and not just from you, is that there isn't any room for a three speed when it comes to anti-projectile. Because for all intents and purposes, if Jaeger was just a roamer, do you think he would be as popular? Let's say, all right, let's just swap the ability. Let's give Vigil Jaeger's ability, and let's give Jaeger Vigil's ability. Is that still too strong of an operator?
I do think so. I do think so. I think Jaeger
So
and
essentially,
Vigil.
just a three speed with the 416 is too strong.
I do believe so. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a lot of firepower for someone who I'm at it. All right, so I do think that. I mean, I see that Jaeger. I hear a lot of people say, not Jaeger. Vigil is an extremely strong operator. I don't think he is. I think he is one of the most balanced operators. I mean, his gun only does 36 damage, a decent fire rate, a great recoil. It's just a balanced weapon. That 416 is that balanced weapon just a touch more, and to give that to a three speed, it's very advantageous, for that defender, especially when you're just waiting and trying to hear for a sound to come in, or you're just spectating the cameras, and you just gotta wait and see, and it's more of an, I don't know. I think it's an advantageous weapon
Yeah, I
and for
hear you. I hear
defense.
on that. Yeah, I hear you on that.
It's an assault rifle as well, and there's not. I think there's only one other assault rifle on defense, and that's the AUG. So and that goes to Wamai too. So that goes back to that conversation, like Jaeger and Wamai. These two are very competitive. It's just that to drop Jaeger to 2-2, that's where the competition comes from. I think that's the competitiveness there.
All right, so what I'm gonna do now, you guys have heard our opinion. What I want to do now is I want to hear yours. So I'm gonna open up the fan line, and I want you to call me. There should be a number on screen. I want you to give me a call, and I'm gonna answer. And I'm gonna just ask your honest opinion. Um, feel free to be honest. Feel free to be real about it. And I want to know exactly like where the community is at. You know, I'm hearing a lot of people say Jaeger ACOG. I'm hearing a lot of people say that this is the worst thing that ever happened. How do you feel about that, real quick?
The ACOG thing, I mean, at this point, it's a meme, right? I mean, we could look at it and say it was a great time seize. I mean, absolutely, but we gotta let that go, you know? That's a funny, maybe in a game mode. That'd be a cool thing if it'll come back in a game mode one day, you know, in an event. That'd be a cool thing.
Yeah, I would like to see
But
that too.
I don't
I
see
just
that
think
happening.
I think Jaeger with the ACOG is still way too strong. Like I think it's really strong. But we have a couple calls coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and take the first call, and then when this section's over, I'll give you a call back.
Hey, that sounds great to me. I'll be listening.
Oh man, I just sorry guys. Sorry guys. Give me a call again. I didn't mean to do that. I don't really know how I'm supposed to do that. Let me just bring this up and see. This is new stuff, guys. New tech. All right,
All the
let's
great
see.
things.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here and then answer the first call. Hey, what's going on? You're live.
Hello?
Hello, you're live. What's going on?
Hello. I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege for like 2 years now, and I was thinking about this Jaeger nerf,
All right, let's hear it. What do you think?
and I was thinking kind of like Legion, how his thing recharges.
Yeah.
We can make Wamai's a little bit faster and get rid of one of Jaeger's ADS and maybe take down his 416's damage a little bit less, like make his damage a little bit
Bro, I think you said it
not as
all,
much.
to be honest. I think you said it all. I think you said everything that I kind of feel like. I feel like, you know, if you make Wamai a little bit stronger, kind of like what you're getting at by, you know, making his magnets come back a little faster. And also, I think just remove the time it takes for them to like arm themselves, like fully arm themselves. Get rid of that. And buff Wamai up and then take that 416 down again. I fully agree with you,
Yeah.
man. And I appreciate your call. Thank you so much. It's been great hearing your opinion. And I think it's super smart, right? Like bring Wamai up, and it'll just give more competition to Jaeger. The fact of the matter is, you know, Jaeger doesn't have a ton of competition. But we're going to take our next caller, and we're gonna see what's going on. How are you? You are live.
What's going on, Zen? This is your mod, Phil Gazzle.
What's up, dude?
Nothing much, man. So yeah, I've talked with Quantum as well. You know,
All right.
I believe I'm on the same standpoint as Quantum, but you did bring up some great points about Wamai.
Yep.
I feel the same way as you. I feel like the Jaeger nerf is a little too soon, but I feel like they need to rework some of the ops, give some of the newer ops a little bit more ability to be played, mainly because I don't think the devs need to go back and fix the old ops before they make the new ones good. Because the new ones are, like you said, they're not coming up strong.
Right. No, I fully agree with that. And my thing is too, like, look at how disappointing as far as power and how strong some of these newer ops are. Like the community has just generally been disappointed. You know, Warden, Knock, you know, Oryx isn't being received too well. You know, there's been a lot of weak ops. And I just feel like at some point we have to get away from making other ops weaker and just start making some of these other ops better. But dude, I appreciate your call. And for those of you guys that don't know, this is actually one of my mods in my Discord server. So you guys can click the top link in the description and please join us over there on the Discord server. It's growing. It really is a community of great people. We have an LFG set up there as well. So there's also custom emoji made both for the channel and the Discord. If you guys want custom emoji, you guys can have custom emoji in this chat right now. If you become a member of this channel, you know, if you further support, it's always a great thing. It's never required, but it's always appreciated. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close the fan line. I'm going to get Quantum back in here, and we're going to discuss some of the other updates that are happening to Rainbow Six Siege, because there's a lot, and there's a new one as well that I think is a big deal, which is Goyle losing his shield. I think it's kind of crazy. So I'm actually gonna bring this up now. Quantum, you're back. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Nothing much. So I mean, kind of, two different callers, kind of in the same breath. I think both of them kind of felt like, hey, look, too much being done to Jaeger, but obviously there's just an endless amount of things that we can discuss as far as when it comes to Jaeger versus Wamaya, all that stuff. So I kind of want to move on, and I wanted to discuss the Year 5 Season 2 Designer's Notes Live. Now, for those of you guys that are watching now, there will be a video posted, I guess, today, because it's a new day where I'm at, but tomorrow for some of you, about all of this stuff. A lot of it goes in depth, and I want you guys to remember something as well. This is a new dev team that's working on this. This kind of is a breath of fresh air on the development side of the game as well. And there's a lot that they're going to be changing and kind of making the game the way that they want to make it, and not so much the way it's been being made. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about actually wasn't an update. It was something that they said that kind of just, I don't know, it's a little bit strange to me. So it's not strange. It's just, I guess it's nice to hear them finally say, but let's get to it. They say, when it comes to the highest level of play, we find a few things to be true that we would like to share. Professional players are masters of the game and place significant value on mastery of the game as it stands today. Naturally, this can lead to resistance when we make changes, as it can be disruptive to teams' composition, strategy, and performance, while beneficial to others. They go on to say, professional players have an incredible understanding of the intricacies of Siege and are able to see many things from that perspective that we may miss. That said, we have to balance their understanding of the game with the data we have that is more representative of the game as a whole before we reach decisions. They say, we recognize the importance of providing these high-level players with input into our balancing process. We have plans to adjust how we respond to the feedback they provide and explain situations where we make decisions that is contrary to their input. And then finally, they say, we listen to pro feedback, but also monitor and gather data on every aspect of the game, their matches included. We make decisions on the best course of action within their feedback, player feedback, and data in mind. So overall, this whole thing kind of screams to me that the game is being ushered in and being kind of developed for the pro player meta.
Right.
This kind of says to me, not that the lower tiered players don't matter. Of course, we do matter, but I think that when it comes to the balancing of the game, they're looking at pro player actual feedback, like actually discussing and talking with these people, and kind of leaving data or numbers to kind of speak for the rest, which I think it's tough for me. For a long time, and this goes even beyond just Siege. In many other games, I think pros, they have a lot to say because they are that top tier player. But in Siege, I want to kind of raise the question of team composition with this here. We will move on, but I did kind of want to just come out and say, me and you have discussed this in the past. Pros play with 4 other pros, right? They play with a full stack of top tier. All they do is play Rainbow Six Siege. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way the game was designed. But that's 1%. That's 1% of the overall fan base, the overall player base. And I just think that it's
probably less.
It's probably less, and I just feel like it's kind of a backwards way of going about it sometimes, because what I've found, especially covering this game for as long as I have, is that a lot of the decisions that are made by the pros, or that are influenced heavily by the pros, aren't received super well all the time from the rest of the community. Sometimes it's appreciated, but a lot of the times it's not. So I kind of just wanted to ask you how you feel about the dynamic of like the development of Rainbow Six Siege and the pros' involvement, and how much of that is being changed, especially with changes like what we have here.
Right.
So I kind of just want to know your thoughts on that.
So I'm actually one of the very early players that actually started playing this game. I actually got this game in 2015 on my PlayStation 4. And it was at the time a couple of my buddies, we all wanted to play. It was just, we got hooked by uh, I think it was the E3 panel that they had released. It looked interesting, so we got hooked, and we stopped playing for a little bit because it just needed some work.
Yeah.
We enjoy the changes. I think the community just enjoy the changes that the game has made, just because it's the product we got today. And yeah, we have all kinds of issues. There are problems. I mean, what game doesn't have issues? And we fail to see that some of us fail to see that this game has brought people together, brought gamers and the community together in all kinds of ways. And this game is special in and out. So with that being said, I think the heart of the game comes from the community. I love to know that games can be taken professionally and taken serious today. I couldn't say that 10 years ago when MLG was a backyard garage LAN party. Now it's a different time. Siege it's a different story. Siege has 55 million players. You can look in the charts. The most common rank is silver 1 and gold 3. And we look at those and we tell ourselves, wow, those are low ranks or maybe mid ranks. Everybody's striving for gold, wherever, and if you're in silver or platinum if you're in gold, or diamond if you're platinum, and higher if you're that. There's so many aspects to it. The pros, they always have their opinions. I don't want to mention any names, but there are some pros that they feel very strongly about the game, and they may express it wrong, and it comes off the wrong way when they express it. But as far as my opinion goes, I feel like the game should be molded around its community, along with professional, with the professional players, to help that goes into development, because I don't think that the game is meant to be just played professionally. I think the game would be a very boring game if the pros had every way they had it. I think it's a mixture of both. But I feel like since esports and for Siege is getting bigger, I feel like the molding is becoming more in their favor than the community, and I just don't want it to head in that direction. I mean, for example, look at the Buck nerf. He's getting rid of his nades and then improving his skeleton key, which I don't think is necessary. I think he's a very scary operator as it is. And by doing that, it just makes me a little more scared. That's a decision that kind of mind boggles me, but I feel like it's a decision that was made among the pros, among those Buck mains and the devs. And they made that conclusive decision. And I think we just got to get used to it, kind of like the IQ nerf back then. So, kind of sum things up for that opinion. I just feel like the game, we came a long way, and the community, in my opinion, should have more of a say.
Yeah, I'm on that side of the fence. I think. I mean, a lot of we can't undermine the pros. We can't undermine the pro league. A lot of Siege's success and kind of stage presence has been because of the pro league, and obviously the pro league is the esports realm for Siege. So I think it's a really important aspect of the game. But I think just generally speaking, yeah, there's a lot that's poured into that, and a lot that is kind of on the back of that. And sometimes I don't think that should necessarily be the case. But you did talk about one of the other changes that's really important, and that's being removed, Buck's frags being removed from his kit. And this is another one that I kind of disagree with you on a little bit, because Buck is an extremely lethal operator. Like, there's just no two ways around it. He's an entry fragger. I think the best entry fragger that there is, to be honest, with how quickly he can get in, how quickly he can take down barricades. But with that said, I think that's the message that they're kind of trying to send, that entry fraggers just shouldn't have frags. IQ, for all intents and purposes, she's in quickly, and those frags were powerful for her. And I think the same thing's kind of happening here with Buck. They took away the frags, and really, anytime that you take away frags, because it's not like Buck needed them for any other reason. He could, I mean, there's always the deployable shield, that kind of thing,
Right.
but ultimately he has his soft breaching capability, and the ability to do a lot without those frags. So I think it just comes down to lethality, really across the board when it comes to frags. Obviously he lost them, and I knew that there would not be this many frags on offense as there was. I mean, Ying had them. Nok had them. Iana just got introduced into the game, and she has them. The recruit has them. There is so many operators with frags. I think one
Right.
less. I think Buck is the operator to take them from, to be honest.
I agree. I mean,
You do.
I definitely agree. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the frags. I just don't. I think the skeleton key buffing it blows my mind because I think he is an extremely scary operator. He in the right hands, he is a formidable operator. He is probably one of the scariest operators. I don't like to go against him. If in the right hands, he scares he scares me. I can't. I hear the buck sound go off. It sounds like a dog barking. And right when I hear that thing going off, I'm like, oh my god, I have to go get him because if not, he's gonna wreak havoc vertically among the team.
Yeah,
And
on pretty much
to
any
add those,
basement or first floor, yeah, Buck is a nightmare for sure. And they, giving him that extra mag and that additional capacity. Some walls, some floors, it requires 2 bucks to get open. And so now he has the ability to open up 3 clean holes pretty much on any ceiling, and that's scary.
yeah,
The next thing that they did, which was kind of a surprise to me today, they announced that they removed a shield from Goyo. And they go on to say Goyo performs very differently depending on the level of play. As you can see in the balancing matrix, he is not performing greatly as he suffers from a low presence and a low win delta. This change is directed towards the current Pro League meta, which is currently utility heavy. We hope that it will alleviate some of the frustration stemming from his increased influence at a professional level. So they're just coming out and admitting like this is for the pros. This has almost nothing to do with the rest of the meta. This is for the pros. Because in this graph, obviously this isn't a video stream in that way, but in this graph, Goyo's really low. He's sitting there just above Oryx and Castle, and they're close to Warden and Clash. So he's just not performing well in the rest of the community. But in the Pro League, he's extremely powerful. So what's going on there? Like, I mean, the Pro League benefits from this, and Goyo mains and the rest of the community is just kind of looking at this and kind of scratching their heads like, why is this necessary? This is going to bury him even more because now he's got less utility.
Right, and that's difficult to really touch up on because I'm on the fence with that one. I'm kind of shocked too to see that win delta with him. I'm very shocked to see him top 5. Well, he's top 6 operators that's just not being.
And you also have to remember this is an operator with access to the TCSG. And that just took a massive damage nerf, which was one of its main selling points. So Goyo has been hit hard. Goyo's been hit very hard in both categories. I just wanted to add that to what
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no other way around it. I mean, he's being hit very hard. I don't think that he is a bad operator. See, the operators down here that's with him, you have Oryx and you have Castle and you have Warden, Clash, and Tatanka. Tatanka is not surprised, but anything else above that, it's kind of like he kind of sticks out the most. He is the best operator of those 2. I also think he's a better operator than Wamai as far as an anchor goes. I think he has a lot of untouched potential. The Vector is
very good weapon.
It's a very great weapon. It's a great weapon. It truly is. I don't think a lot of people have a lot of time to play with that weapon, especially newcomers, because we had our time back then before the pick and ban system to play with a lot, with that Vector a lot.
Yeah.
But now with this pick and ban system, the new players really aren't playing with that weapon, especially if they're not familiar with Goyo. So I think that it should shed light on that weapon, and I think that Goyo would actually be a very a good semi-roamer. That Vector, he can go. He's a 2/2. Places his shields down, he reinforces, and he can go do what he has to do. He doesn't necessarily have to stay on site. With 3 shields, I kind of felt like there was a certain kind of feel where he was this hard anchor, maybe especially with that TCSG that he was way down. I feel like that Vector is a very good roaming weapon, and it's a high fire rate, 26 in a mag. I think it's just a solid weapon, or 31 in the mag. I'm sorry.
So I really like this thought process because it's looking at the nerfs as a way to kind of just, you're looking at it from the perspective of, all right, with these nerfs and with the way that these operators are, we're going to shed light on the other aspects about them. So
right,
the way that
absolutely.
you're kind of looking at it, or at least that thought process, is like, all right, well, the TCSG is being nerfed, but Goyle has the Vector, and because the TCSG is being nerfed, the Vector is going to get more love. And I have to respect that. Just generally speaking, you have to respect that because the Vector is an amazing weapon. But I would say, yeah, most Goyle players are playing the TCSG. But I think even more so than its damage, I think a lot of people are playing it because it's a 2-speed operator with an ACOG. You know, there
Right.
is that aspect to it as well. Yeah, lots of different opinions. I'm going to open up that fan line again, and we're going to get calls going. And we're going to see kind of how you guys are feeling about this, because honestly, I mean, it's crazy to think about. So yeah, let's get the next caller in. Really curious to see how you guys are kind of feeling about it, because I mean, look at how many operators are being hit by this. It's so many. Hey, what's going on? You are live.
Oh shit, I actually got on.
Yeah,
Yo,
you
what's
did.
going on,
What's
man?
up, dude?
Alright, so I realize everyone was talking about like the Jaeger thing. I don't know if anyone's talking about Buck, but that's kinda like what I'm mainly sad about.
So how are you feeling about Buck? Because we were just talking about that. How do you feel about the nerf and buff?
I feel like I don't know, I feel like it was kind of like almost like a silent buff to Sledge because he sledged his frag, but like I don't know, man. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
there
hear
was
you
no
100%.
reason for that.
I mentioned that same point in my video where I mentioned just that, you know, now that Buck doesn't have frags, it just inadvertently buffs Sledge because look, he has frags, he has the SMG 11, he's got a ton of firepower, but you know, I think it helps Sledge a lot against Buck because that question has been something for a long time, Buck versus Sledge, and I think it helps Buck. What is going on? You are live. How do you feel about all these nerfs? Can't hear you, bud. Speak up.
Hello?
Hello? I'm not sure what was going on there. Let's try one more. What is going on? You are live.
Yeah, what's going on, Zen?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you feeling about these nerfs?
I would actually say it's actually a good thing.
Which
Because
one?
meta right now, the Jaeger nerf.
Okay, go
The
ahead.
meta right now is, there's not really a lot of 3-speeds coming in right now with really like strong guns. Like a Sophia. I'm not saying Sophia's like a 3-speed. I'm just saying like her gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no like 3-speeds coming out as attackers with really good guns like the R4C, her gun. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think Jaeger getting that little 2-speed nerf is really good because think about it. So many people are used to, Jaeger over these years.
Yep.
That nobody wants to play Walmart.
Yep.
And it's not fair for Walmart because Walmart is a 2-speed. He has really good utility. He has razor wire. He has the deployable shield, which Jaeger doesn't have anymore.
Yep.
But people still pick Jaeger, and I'm just kind of tired of it, to be honest.
So
I am a Jaeger main, but
So I don't know if you were listening beforehand, but my question to you, right? Because you have the same kind of sentiment that my buddy does. My question to you is, all right, why not buff Wamai? If Wamai is clearly the lesser of the operators, and I mean, let's just be frank, right? Magnet versus ADS. Yes, the Magnet is more versatile and it's more innovative and I guess more flashy, but the Jaeger just knocks it out. If there's a Candela and the Magnet catches it, it's still a Candela, right? It's still gonna go off.
Right.
It's still gonna flash anything that is in its area. If it's Jaeger, it's not. Whether it's rolling, whether it's thrown, it doesn't matter. So my question again to you is, why not buff Wamai? And if we are going to buff Wamai, how are we going to do that? My proposal is give Wamai the 3-speed. Take it away from Jaeger. Still give all of Jaeger's utility. Give Wamai the 3-speed. What do you think there?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Like I said, because we're changing.
Is that good
a lot of
feedback?
3-speeds.
Be honest with me. Is that good feedback?
That definitely is. I'll have to
Okay.
give you that one. I didn't think about that. Definitely didn't think about that. I don't know. It's a hard one to say because I don't know, like,
Yeah,
somebody
I
might throw a
stumped you. I
grenade
feel like I stumped you a
and it
little bit.
still goes off. Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely did. I didn't think about that coming into this one.
Yeah. All right.
But
So
I don't know. I don't want to say 3-speed though. Like I said, because we're moving away from that meta of like
yes. Well,
powerful three
yeah. I
speeds.
mean, we are moving away from that meta. All right. So if not giving Wamai the 3-speed, then why not replicate Jaeger's utility and have the magnet do what it really is designed to do and just destroy whatever it comes into contact with and skip the whole it goes off thing? Let me just lighten the question. How does that sound?
That sounds good and all, but if that was the case, then maybe Jaeger's pick rate and Ren Delta would go down by a lot.
That's what they want. That's
Because
what they need.
yeah, that's true, but I don't know.
All right, so because I
It's
like you,
hard.
I'll ask you a different question. How do you feel about Mozzie losing his super shorty?
I like it.
I kind
He's
of like
just
it
too
too.
versatile. He roams. Castle needed it a lot more than him because Castle's win ratio, pick rate is just so low, and I'm a Castle main. Plus,
Okay.
I think really a lot of Mozzies depend on that shotgun to win gunfights more than the P10 or the Commando a lot of times.
It can. I mean, it's a very strong shotgun. But yeah, I
Oh,
like it too.
definitely.
I like it too. I like the change too. And I think, I mean, I'm not saying that handguns should be used more or anything, but there are some criminally underused, really powerful handguns like the one from the Spanish operators, both get it there. Jackal and Mira, their pistol is really good. The USP, I believe it is. And then Mozzie and Gridlock's pistol, the Australian pistol, it's an awesome pistol as well. So I'm going to take one more caller here. Let's see what they think. What is going on? You are live.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, man? You're live.
Yeah, what's up? You say why not buff Wamai to a 3-speed, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but his gadget's made kind of like for the objective. Like, if he was made to roam, how would his gadget be affected by that?
I don't think it would affect this gadget. And to be honest, I think kind of like Jaeger, the magnet can be the only reason why the magnet can't be roamed with is because it still sets whatever it catches off. Um, I think just generally speaking, giving Wamai that 3-speed, I think that there should be an anti-projectile option, a support operator option that has 3-speed. Because if you really think about it, no one else fills that role. That is Jaeger's role. If you look at Bandit, for instance, with the batteries, if he's
Yeah.
not tricking, he's just roaming. But for the most part, he's tricking, and then that kind of goes out the door as far as roamer support. Jaeger's the only one that really puts something down on the objective, leaves, and is supporting his team in that way. Do you know what I mean, or am I not making sense? Be honest with me.
Yeah, I kind of get it.
Okay. So I mean, as far as the 3-speed change to Wamai, I don't think that would affect his gadget at all. I don't. But I think even on the objective, especially considering this will be my last point, and then I have another question for you. But especially considering the fact that we are bomb only in ranked, and there's always two rooms to deal with. When you're using the magnet, kind of like Legion, you have to move around the objective quickly. So I think
Yeah.
So I think like, and there have been plenty of times that I've died in ranked, whether it's Legion or Wamai, because I'm going to a different area of the objective to try to, throw my gadget out. So I think that 3-speed, and this was kind of what I mentioned in my video about Jaeger, I think that 3-speed more so than anything helps with the prep phase. And helps with moving around the objective and stuff like that. It would, of course, open the ability for Wamai to roam, but I just think that he could use the speed. My other question to you is going to be about Goyo and his removal of a shield. Now, I want to ask you about the removal of the shield part, but I also want to ask you about they're only doing this because of the Pro League. And I'm not sure what rank you are. You can tell us if you'd like, but they're only doing this for the Pro League, and I want to know how you feel about it.
I'm usually like around mid gold.
Okay.
So like, I never really see anybody playing Goyo. It's not really a big deal to me.
Right. But the fact that
pretty much. I guess he's pretty good for like area denial, but I don't know. In my league, I never really see people play him, or I never play him at all. I do think the TSG nerf is pretty. I don't know. I don't like the TSG nerf in my
Well,
opinion.
let me ask you
I
this:
feel
Are you
like it
playing on
rewarded
PC or
accuracy.
console?
Console.
All right, so the TCSG, and you're playing with the controller, correct? I mean, you can be honest if you're not, but
Yeah. I'm a controller.
all right, so you're playing with the controller. So, I mean, DMRs in general are just more difficult to use, no?
Yeah, that's
So,
what
I
I
mean, this
thought.
is
You
going to
remember
take
the
away a lot
Ella
of.
nerf?
Yeah,
How they like did it because of console
right,
mostly?
Yep.
I think they should do something like that with the TSG, so it's not really that bad on console.
I mean, I'm
Because
going
on
to be honest with
console,
you.
yeah,
No, go ahead, finish.
I feel like on console the both the slug shotguns are not even that good. Like they're okay if you hold the angle right,
You're
but
talking
then,
about
I
the
don't know,
Boss
the
G as
recoil
well,
is too
right?
much. Yeah, the Boss G as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it's because you have to hit your shots with those weapons. And I mean, let's just be honest here. When there's no aim assist and we're on console, it's difficult. You know, it's challenging.
Yeah,
So yeah, I appreciate your perspective, dude. Yeah, golds matter. You know, I don't care really what anyone says. Golds matter. Their opinions matter. And I think, you know, he mentioned, hey, look, we don't see a lot of Goyle, right? We don't see a lot of Goyle in my ring. And my thing there is like you don't see a lot of Goyle probably because he's weak. You know, he's weak just in general. And now we're nerfing him again. You know, we're nerfing him again. And so he's just gonna be even weaker. So golds, silvers, platinums, you know, I mean, you're just gonna see him less across the board. I'll tell you where you'll probably still see him a lot is in the pro league. But yeah, guys, that's been all of the changes. That's our nerfs. So I'm gonna get Quantum back in here, and we actually experienced this next feature together in the previous meta from a year ago. Me and Quantum have been playing Rainbow Six Siege together for nearly 3 years at this point. But we're gonna be talking about Ying. Ying is getting a massive buff. And I think we should talk about that. I think we kind of have the same standpoint about that, but let's just go over it real quick for those that haven't. I want to just remind you guys there is a link to the Discord in the description. I also want to thank you guys for watching for as long as you have. I really like this kind of more lo-fi, chill vibed out stream. How do you feel about it, Quantum? Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh man, it's pretty chill, man.
All right, I'm liking it too.
Where I'm at. Yeah, I like it. I like talking like this. I mean, it's kind of just like a regular day for us, but except that I'm just seeing a chat in front of me. So
right. Well, that's my thing too. Is that's kind of why I wanted to do it. But yeah, guys, there's a Discord link in the description if you guys want to join. I'm always in there. Come hang out. But let's go over this this Ying change. So they've added smoke grenades. They've removed her claymore. They increased the T95 LSW damage to 46, up from 43. So that's her LMG for those of you that don't know. And they've also given her an additional Candela. And I'm going to actually read this whole blurb here before we start talking about it because I want to hear what they have to say about it. But I'm going to read this whole thing. And they say, Ying is not yet where we would like her to be in terms of presence, and her win delta has decreased since the update in Year 4 Season 4.3. So basically, they're saying that since they reversed the Candela, she's gone down in popularity. Adding an extra Candela should strengthen her performance and give her more options when pushing towards the objective. Replacing her Claymore with smoke grenades aims at improving what she brings to the team. Playing Ying does not require a lot of interaction with your teammates. We want to increase that level of synergy she deploys when spearheading. At the same time, smoke grenades are useful to circumvent utilities such as black mirrors and deployables and Goyle shields. We expect her to be more at ease and faster when rushing, as we won't rely as much on droning thanks to her improved primary and secondary gadgets. Her LMG has also received a damage boost to reinforce her ability to win duels. Despite decent stats, her gun does not quite perform as we would like. We are monitoring its performance and will adjust accordingly if needed. So there's a couple things in there that I kind of wanted to point out. First of all, I think the first sentence that has to come out of my face is that Ying is going to be a goddess with this change. This is by far her biggest buff to date. By far. There isn't anything that's happened yet that
insane.
Yeah, this is a massive buff to Ying.
She is going to be.
She's going to be disgusting. So the first thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is kind of all right, so it's a little bit backwards to me. They're saying that they want to increase the level of synergy she deploys when spearheading, meaning they want there to be more communication with the team, but they've given everything that she needs to be successful to her. So I don't really see how that's going to increase the synergy of the team. So for instance, you open up the garage on Consulate. The number one thing to do when you open up the garage on Consulate is to throw out smoke and get the plant down next to the white van. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, could be. I mean,
Most times that's the goal, right? Open up the garage
yeah,
and either
get it
fight it
smoked.
out or get the plant down with some smoke.
Right.
So in that
I
situation, yeah, okay, you need to work it out with Thermite, Thatcher, Habana. They get the wall open. And then that's it. You don't need to drone. You don't need to really do anything else. As long as the Wamais and the Jaegers are dealt with, you throw out the two smokes, you throw out the now 4 candelas, 4 of them, and you go for the plant. I mean, how
right.
is that any more synergy? I'm just go ahead. I'm not understanding.
So just I want to put in there. This makes that Jaeger nerf. It makes a lot more sense. That's just what I want to put in there. Now going back to that synergy part, he is all right. So I look at it as he's going to be the most devastating operator in Siege right now. She's probably going to be just as broken as Lion. Back in the day when we experienced this, she had 3 candelas and 2 smoke. Now
Right.
she's having 4 candelas, 2 smoke, with the inclusion of more operators that have access to smokes like Gridlock, because Gridlock wasn't in the game when she was this overpowered. So you have Capital now, who is an extremely strong operator in the right hand.
Yeah, I didn't even
He's just a
think about
balanced operator.
Capital. That's huge.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be a devastating
Because at the time, I
attacking
don't think
meta.
Capital had his rework either that made his smoke more consistent. I could be wrong, but I don't think he did.
I mean, can I just imagine? Let's give you a scenario where we're playing Chalet and we're pushing Snowmobile. We
All right.
get that garage open, we get smokes out, we get candelas out there, and let's throw a couple fireballs. There is so much chaos in just those 3 operators alone. I can't imagine, along with some tracks, if you want to play some Gridlock, because I know you like some Gridlock.
Yep.
You can throw some tracks in there. It's an extremely devastating thing. And now Warden's going to be an animal. I just got a message from my friend. He reminded me too as well that I've had those similar feelings. Warden is going to be a hard counter. He doesn't need the MPX anymore. He needs something else along with the MPX. He can use the P90. He's going against an LMG. He's going maybe against a Glass. He's going against some firebolts. He needs more firepower. If not, buff that SMG-12. That's where I stand with that.
So let's be honest about this. Is this more about buffing Ying, or is this more about buffing Warden? Because none of this matters at all to Warden. None of this.
I think this is about buffing attack. I think
just attack in general?
I think she's the front line. I think she's the front line now. I think she's going to be the number 1 performance when it comes to getting in there, getting the job done. She's going to be the scariest op we've seen. If if played right, Jaeger, that Jaeger nerf now makes a lot more sense to me, because you need Jaeger on site now. If you're gonna have this chaos, you need Jaeger on site and you need Wamai on site. I don't see Wamai being a 3-speed. Impossible. He needs to be on site when this chaos is going down.
The thing too, though, is that even if Wamai is on site, the Candela are still going off. They're still going off in full, wherever he may throw them, yes, but they are still going off. And I don't think actually Wamai is going to be that effective against this specifically. Because, she could just take out, and let's be honest here, with everything in her kit, Wamai alone can't even deal with everything. Wamai can only deal with 5 things. She's throwing out 6 in total. So there's either a smoke or a candela that's not being caught at all, and it's just going to go off.
I agree. I think there's a lot to come with this. I definitely think there's a lot to come with this. I mean, how about we start talking about Thatcher? How about Thatcher? How about a
what's
nerf
up with
to Thatcher? I think Thatcher needs a nerf. I think Thatcher needs to take away. I think they take away one of his EMPs and give him the SMG-11. I think he needs to be utilized this way. Maverick has surged. Maverick has came
See, but
above.
this goes back to that same conversation that we just had. That is, why nerf Thatcher? Why not buff the clear operator that needs a buff? Kali. Kali needs a buff. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Oh no, 100%. Kali.
Please, someone
So
tell
that
me in chat if
that
I
should be
am wrong.
priority. No, you're 100% right. I do believe that Kali needs a buff, and I think it's a simple way to do it. I think it's just by adding a scope to the C75, if not giving her the SMG11. It'd be an interesting way for her to get into the objective, to confirm her kills, especially when she just downs, opponents. She needs to be buffed. There's no question about it. She needs more firepower. She is extremely weak. I don't see her gun. A lot of people thought her gun was going to be an extreme problem. They were wrong. The gun is absolute doo-doo, in my opinion.
No. We cannot say that in this chat. No.
The only reason why is because there's no follow-up with her. You can down someone. What are you going to shoot them with? You're going to shoot them with the C75? That thing takes up half your screen. Maybe if you were to put a scope on it, I think you can confirm that kill a lot faster. You can down people for your teammates, and then maybe confirm it. But then what's the point? What's the point of playing her? You have a better operator. You have Glads. So I just feel she needs more firepower. Her gun CSR it can be an amazing weapon if it has a follow-up. Right now, it's just a slap in the face. There's no follow punch. There's no combination with it. It's just one jab. There needs to be a finisher to it. And that's where she's lacking.
I mean, I agree, but I think again, I think like the CSRX to me, because I mean, look, you mentioned that it's no good, but we've played ranked together. You know how it goes down sometimes.
Right.
My thing with the CSRX, and I've never said this publicly, but I'm going to say it now. And I want to hear from you guys. As a matter of fact, after I say this, I'm going to open the fan line again. And I want to know, we're going to talk Kali for like 10 minutes. Like, I don't care. I don't care if there's only 3 people in the chat. We're going to talk Kali for like 10 minutes because Kali should down every single time, no matter what. If I shoot someone in
Agreed.
the foot with the CSRX, they should go down. And the reason is because you're right. You don't have that follow-up, and you put yourself at so much of a risk if you go in for that next kill, if you go in for that finishing kill with the CSRX so much. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to open up the fan line real quick, and I want to talk Kali with you guys. I want to talk Kali because I really and truly believe that Kali is in the most desperate need for a buff right now. And the thing about it is, Quantum just said it, Thatcher is so strong, and Kali's whole design was to rival the utility of Thatcher, obviously in her own way with the sniper and all that, the 12x, but she was designed to rival Thatcher. What's going on? You are live. Hello. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take another caller. What is going on?
Hello?
You are live. Hello. Can't really hear you. Hello? One more time, guys. One more time. We're going to try it one more time. Here we go. What is going on? You are live. Anyone there? Anyone at all?
Hello?
Hello? Are you there?
Hello?
Hello? All right, we're gonna go again. I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys have anything regarding Kali? Hello there. You are live.
Hello.
Welcome.
How are you?
How are you? I'm well. Thank you for asking. So, Kali, what do you think?
Yeah. So, Kali, I've actually find her really useful. A lot of the times, I find to help hard breachers really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always find I always seem to find knocking people down really easily. I don't really get 2 shots and still have them alive.
Do you play on console or PC?
Console.
So do you play with a controller?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually interesting because from all the console people that I've heard from within my community, within my comment section, they say that Kali is just basically never used. Are you a Kali main?
Yeah, I am.
Dude, that's actually sick. I mean, if you could put some clips together, bro, you probably have a career. So let me ask you this: how do you feel about the buff that I kind of just mentioned, where no matter what, because as a Cali main, because I myself, I'm not a Cali main, but I want to be. I'm like kind of like a fake Cali main. But for myself, the fact that I do not down when I hit any limb, because this comes back to the limb penetration system, or anything that's not torso, it doesn't immediately down. Do you think that no matter what, if you touch someone with the CSRX, that you should down?
I think you should down them, yes.
See, and guys, I'm telling you, you will only hear this from people that actually play Kali, because when you actually play her, it is like, it's so frustrating. You only have one shot. You put your all into that one shot. And then when you let it fly, no one goes down. And it's so strange. So, I mean, if you have any other thoughts on it, feel free.
She has the slowest fire rate. She has also the most powerful gun. She needs to be able to take people down like that because you only get one shot, basically.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it, bro, man. I really appreciate that opinion. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take another call here. What is up? You are live. Hello. All right. Another call. Another call. Why not? What's up? You are live.
Hey, Colin. Hey, Zen. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? What do you think about Cali?
So I agree. No matter what, Cali should be a one shot.
A one shot
going
down, right?
back,
Or do you think she should be a one shot
yes,
kill?
mainly because I am a faster main.
Okay.
I don't agree with the 2 EMPs instead of the 3 because I think there's too much utility between Bandit and Kaid. But I do agree Cali needs a buff, hardcore.
So let me ask you this about Thatcher real quick before we talk about Cali. First off, do you play on PC or console?
I play on PC on Plat 3.
All right, cool, nice. Me too, man. I'm grinding up to Plat 2.
Nice.
So with Thatcher, right? Personally, I'm on the side of the fence. I agree with my buddy. I agree with Quantum. I think Thatcher should lose one. And in our rank level, right? This is good. This is great that you're Plat. In our level, look, when it comes to Thatcher, you're either going to get it open or not, and I don't think that the third one really matters. If the Bandit or the Kaid is talented enough, you're sealed off. And I've been
Very
in
true.
so many rounds where, like, outside of Consulate, outside of Chalet, it doesn't matter. All 3 of the EMPs get used on the wall, and then you kind of just disperse out. That could be a Plat thing. I'm not sure. But from my
There
experience,
has been some scenarios that it saves it. The third one does save it sometimes, but it's rarely,
Right. Sometimes the third one is the lock, but I mean is the key to the lock. But generally speaking, if you didn't get it into that, Bandit's not going anywhere, and he's gonna keep it sealed off. When it comes to Cali, how do you feel about giving her the SMG 11? Seriously.
I think it would definitely be good. I saw someone in chat say classes SMG, but
that's a great idea. Someone in chat said that.
I can't take credit for that idea. I saw it in chat. I think it's a great idea.
That is one of the best ideas I've ever heard.
A machine pistol would be good for her. She needs it. The CZ75, like Quantum says, I completely agree. It takes up half the screen. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I mean, this kind of goes to the Pro League kind of thing, because I think for Pro League, or like that super high echelon of player, I think Cali can't be that good, right? If she's that good, it'll end the Pro League.
I mean, right now, if Thatcher's banned, I'm not picking Cali.
Right,
like, I'm gonna pick
but it's because of the firepower issue,
I'm going to use my main Zofia.
and just go underneath, like let's just say Cash on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna impact him from below. There's no point in me running a Cali. She's too weak.
Yeah, you're right, man. No, you're totally right. Dude, I super appreciate, although it was not your idea, I super appreciate hearing that machine pistol idea. I've never heard that before. I've never thought of that before. Whoever said that in chat, you are an absolute genius. And you deserve a Twinkie because honestly, I mean, seriously, that's like amazing because me and Quantum have talked about this a lot. Okay, we've talked about this a lot because I play a lot of Cali. Sometimes he gets frustrated that I play Cali. Sometimes his jaw is dropped and he's like, oh my God, Zen's hitting everything today. But I think we both agree that the C75 for her secondary, it's just not strong enough. And it's awkward to use for an operator who, when you look down her sight, it's not like anyone else. It's her completely custom, completely unique CSRX scope, and then you have to swap to the C75. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So what's going on? You are live. Is anyone home? My chat wants to talk to you. I want to talk to you. So let's chat.
What?
What is up? You are live.
Oh, come on.
What's wrong?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, come on. What's wrong?
Yeah, you are live. Do you have any opinions at all, or are you just shocked that you are live?
What?
I think he's confused. We'll take another one. What's up? You are live. Yo, 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 what is up?
What's up?
What's up, dude? What's up? That's cute. All right, guys. So I think that's gonna do it for this stream, guys. I think that's gonna do it this time around. I really enjoyed this a lot. I'm surprised that this many of you guys have stuck around and stayed and chilled and hung out and all that. If you guys want to see this again, drop a like and also join the Discord and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. I greatly appreciate it. I want to do this more. I'm thinking about definitely doing this more. So let me know if you enjoyed it. We will probably just do this tomorrow night and go from there. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being an awesome community. Thank you for joining the Discord, and thank you for everything. Seriously, we'll be back. More callers, more info, and there will be a new video tomorrow, or well, today if you're watching this early in the morning. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys very soon.